Okay, I think we have a good majority with more people trickling in, so we'll just get started. Hi, everyone. Welcome. Thanks for joining our executive preview session today. We're really excited to highlight the new platform that we have coming your way later this quarter, early next quarter. You have myself as your host, Heather. I am the moderator for this session, so if you have any questions, feel free to either drop them in the Q&A part of the bottom banner or in the chat, and I'll be moderating them and kind of giving them to Aaron towards the end of the session. So um, feel free to drop them in the chat. And then afterwards, I'll drop a link for you to schedule a demo, one-on-one demo, or to have a further conversation. At the end of this webinar, there will also be an automated survey sent to you. Please fill it out so that we can make sure that these are valuable, that we can hone in on the content to make sure that we're serving your needs and meeting your expectations, as we have a lot of new and exciting stuff to continue rolling out this year. So we want to just make sure that these preview sessions are everything that you need them to be able to take the next action with us. So with nothing further ado, I'm going to hand it over to my colleague, Aaron Clare. He's the senior director of the optimized product, and he's going to be walking us through the demo of our new platform today.
All right. Thank you very much, Heather. Yeah, thanks everyone for joining us, whether you're on your lunch break or getting ready, or it's Thursday afternoon for those on the East Coast in New York City. It's great to see so much engagement from all of the participants we have today. So we're really excited because this is the first view of the beta live platform that I'll be taking you through, a live demo. So hopefully you've attended some of our previous sessions where we've talked about the methodology, what we've done to ensure that the data is accurate and ground truthed and tested for an odds ratio accuracy, what we've done to combine the best-in-class methodologies from our Claritas household-based and deterministic methodology with our ArtsAI probabilistic methodology into one hybrid solution that gives you best-in-class measurement that has a strong foundation that you can trust to create actionable insights. And of course, we can go beyond just using measurement as a measurement stick and how we bring attribution to life, going beyond just what had occurred, but showing you who was exposed and who converted, so you can find those high propensity audiences to optimize your targeting, and also where you can see your marginal return, so you can understand not only what happened in the past, but where you can have the most bang for your buck on the next dollar or incremental spend that you have in your campaign. So this platform will show you those insights, and also we'll show you an example where we have AI optimization automation capabilities enabled. So message optimization and audience optimization, and we'll show you what the AI is doing. And there's a lot of rich insights that you can get from this. So I'll share my screen without further ado. And just keep in mind, this is beta. So there might be some things that take a little bit of time to load. And that's just us kind of testing with the data and getting it ready for prime time. And if you would like to, here we go, hold on, I didn't share yet. Okay. Let me know if you can see this dashboard.
Okay. We can see it now. Yep.
All right, great. Yeah, so yeah, this is beta. And if you would like access to this beta platform, please comment in the chat and we'll get you signed up and get you into this beta platform. And you can reach out to your Claritas account representatives, and then they can get you scheduled for beta access. And when you're in here too, we've got this handy beta feedback button here. So if you have ideas for feature requests, or if you have questions, or if you notice things, or there's any formatting or feedback that you have from us, it's all here for you in an easy to submit application here. You can even drop files if you want to do some back of the napkin drawings and things like that. You can load those files in here, and we're absolutely welcome to your feedback. And customers like you help us to make this product better, and we'll continually build upon what we have here today. And so what we are viewing today is a campaign that we had done for Major League Baseball. We did it across a number of clubs. This one is for the Seattle Mariners, where we had AI optimization enabled. So you'll have just kind of a lay of the land here first and foremost. We've got uh, our our menu here, so you can skip down to any different sections. The overall performance and conversions and details about the campaign, the AI optimization insights, getting insights into the conversion delay, pixel breakout per KPI or event that you're tracking, and then your performance by various dimensions such as DMAs or device types and actual line items or ads or creatives within the campaign. So here at the top, we've got a date range filter if you'd like to look at a specific time frame. You can also filter to specific events or KPIs that you're tracking. So whether it might be a purchase or a site visit, or you can just have everything in total aggregate. And we also have the ability to schedule reports. So it's all easy to find here in the top right tray. You can have a help section here. We'll be loading all kinds of rich guides and materials and how-tos and explanations or methodologies and so forth. And account information so you can invite users. So we'll jump into just an example of these report options that you'll get. So you can create a report name and you can select the type of report. So for those of you who are coming over from our legacy platforms, whether ArtsAI or Claritas, you'll see some of those similar reports. So you can have that same type of view that you may be accustomed to for any of your purposes. Maybe you're loading these into your business intelligence tools, or you're downloading and viewing them weekly, or sharing with your team, or creating executive views of this. That's all there. So, your attribution and reach and frequency reports, media delivery by day, attribution by day. So it gives you that full view of, if you have 100 placements running each day, you'll have 100 rows per day. So it gives you that full view there. So you can see that all of this is maintained raw data as well. So you can see at the individual, whomever has responded or converted, you'll have that raw report. And you can see some different dimensions and metrics that you may want to include or exclude. So you've got kind of a report builder here, so you can tailor this to what you need. If there's dimensions that aren't relevant for your purposes, then you can tailor that and make it really specific to your use cases. You can select what time period you would like to receive the reports, when you would like to receive them. We can show you this here. So, yep, you can send it to specific emails. You can send it as an email as an attachment. You can also upload to an S3 location or a secure file transfer. That's all available for you. The file formats to fit with your use case. Maybe you want more formatting in Excel, or you just want the CSV raw data. And yeah, and schedule it for recurring, a specific time that you'd like to receive it. If you'd like to receive it Monday morning, that's all available for you. So a lot of customization or configuration options for the reports that you'll schedule for yourself. Not only that, as I go through the platform, there are exports options for all of these modules. So you can get that view downloaded. So here you can see that we've got the campaign that ran in Q4 of 2024 for the Seattle Mariners. You can see that the number of conversions overall on the Seattle Mariners ticket purchasing and visiting to buy those tickets on their site. And you can see that conversion activity across time. You can filter to a specific time frame to narrow in on what had occurred there. And you've got your overview and performance here. So your top line, quick to those details of that snapshot of the total attributed conversions compared to the total conversions, right? So this is all site activity, regardless of whether or not the conversions were attributable to the campaign. And then these are those that are attributable. So you can see here, roughly 2.2 million impressions and 1.1 million were reached. So that's, everyone was reached about twice. And we saw that that has a high return in a very kind of more bang for your buck part of the frequency curve that I'll show you. We also see clicks in this case. This was a display advertisement. So within all of this, I'll jump down to some of the audience data and performance, so you can see who was converting. So here, if I jump down to this segment, and I'll show you something really neat that backs this, we've got in this case, the Claritas Prism Premier segments, who are showing the highest indexing in converting. So Claritas Prism segmentation is in virtually every DSP. You can find who your best audiences are and then directly use these audiences to target in any DSP. It's just right off the shelf. And it basically is a system that divides the US population into 68 different segments based on attitudes, behaviors, demographics, lifestyle, and regionality. And it's kind of ranked socioeconomically as well. So in this case, this campaign skewed more towards the higher end of segment 2, network neighbors. Segment 3, we can see here, young digerati. And there's details about each of those segments that will help you to understand who your best customers are and why they buy. So if you're familiar with Claritas, our segmentation system and our identity and device graph is the largest, most accurate in the US. It's US based. So we have data on virtually every household in the US and up to 5,000 pieces of information about each household that goes into the segment information. That really gives you kind of a more holistic picture of your audiences. We'll show you those top converting segments here. So again, kind of the same view of this, of their conversion index compared to what their representation in the US. So we saw five times as many visitors from this segment than their representation of the population to this site. We can also look at different segmentation systems as well. So that's really interesting too, because not only do we show you who's converting, but again, backed by those 5,000 different pieces of information, you can learn more about those best converting segments. So here again, we've got those best converting segments here. This shows you our Prism segmentation system. We also have our cycle segmentation, which is more for the financial industry, and connections, which is more tech adoption related to tech and telco. And based on that, we are able to create personas. So really bringing the attribution to life in an engaging way where you can interact with that persona representation of your best customers. So here, networked neighbors, we have some details about them. We have a persona representation, in this case, Alex Takahashi, living with my lovely family in a cozy yet elegant home just shy of $1 million. Life is bustling yet balanced. They're a financial analyst and they're tech savvy. So, and their life stage, and you can continue and you can have a conversation with this persona to find out why they buy, and recall that this is all backed by 5,000 different pieces of information that really feed into a robust view of your best customers. So you can use this for media planning. You can use this in a consultative approach. If you are an agency working with your advertisers, you can have this conversation about who's buying and why. That may help you to tailor the products or services, the price points, helping you with throughput on your website. It's more than just a measurement tool for attribution, but also a marketing guide as well. I can actually have a focus group, a virtual focus group with all of these top representations of my best customers, and ask them questions, any questions, just like you might use ChatGPT. So for example, let's say, how likely are you to attend opening day for your favorite baseball team? If I can spell this. So, and what this will do is give you a response. You can ask it anything, right? Like, let's say if it's an app, are you more likely to download an app that's ad supported or paid? So we'll go ahead and run this, and it will ask this question across all 5 of these top segments. So we'll let that run. This is in the beta version, so it might take just a little bit of time to run. And then also, it's our large language model based on all of those different dimensions. We're looking at it. If you have feedback, you can share that with us as well. You can download these conversations. You can ask it multiple questions, and it'll continue to generate responses to each of them. And we've prompted these in a way to help stimulate marketing insights on what types of products or service, what types of ads they may respond to. And we'll see that as it cooks in real time here. So as that's going, kind of like a baking show, we'll come back to it when it's ready and out of the oven. So here we'll go back up and I'll show you some of the optimizations in action. So here, if we click on this option to activate any of these optimizations, it'll give you a predictive view of the increase in performance that you might expect if you enable these AI optimization capabilities. So there's 3 areas of optimization. One is audience optimization. Next is message optimization. And finally, media optimization. So you can see if you were just running business as usual, then this is the expected baseline number of attributable conversions. And if you enable audience optimization, you can see this cumulative increase. Message optimization, there's a big pop in increase there based on the performance of variations of creatives. You can have 30 different creatives that might be the call to action or the background images or the headlines or different offers. And the machine learning will find out which creative variation works best with different audiences, different geographies, time of day of week, other external patterns that could be influencing consumer behaviors that we as humans aren't going to be as quick to be able to identify. This AI optimization for message will find that and serve the right ad to the right audiences. And then finally, media optimization, finding the overlap of high propensity audiences in channels or episodes or tactics that you haven't yet reached, but we know that you can reach them there. So you have a lot of opportunity to reach those high converting audiences without oversaturating your frequency. And then here, if you take all 3 of those optimization strategies and repeat them in your media expansion or other channels, then you can increase that performance even more over baseline. So you can see, we're well over doubling by these strategies. So this gives you a sense of that. And here we'll go into some results of this Mariners campaign. So here in this first view is the audience optimization. The way that audience optimization works is you may have a targeted campaign. You've created your media plan and you know who and where you're targeting. You can stick with that tactic and that strategy. You don't have to change your media buy. You don't have to change anything about who you're targeting or where. The audience optimization will make micro optimizations within your tactic, in your strategy. The way that we can do that is we can take about 80% of your buy and optimize it based on audience, and then leave about 20% out for the machine learning to continue to learn based on that baseline. and we can make these optimizations each week. And you can see in this case, we saw a 23% overall gain above and beyond what would have occurred if we didn't run that optimization. In this case, it looks like we did about a 90-10 split. So yeah, and your overall lift is, aggregating out at 23%. So here we can see this kind of borne out in this chart here, where we have the optimized group is this dark blue versus the non-targeted gray, and the difference in conversion rates is the lift based on that audience optimization. Let's see, we can scroll down further. Again, we've got the prism segments. I touched on that a bit earlier. If we scroll down further, this gets us into message optimization. So this is where you can load in a number of variations of your creatives. So here's the cumulative return in increase on that performance. So you can see the AI optimized messages performance in orange, and the randomized performance in blue. The impressions, click-through rate, conversion rates are all here. And again, this is all exportable. And here, this will show you the variation performance by different creatives. So you've got the conversion rate and the click-through rates. So your highest converting variations of your creative here is at the top. You can see that this is, again, for the Mariners, tridents up, shopping done. This performed the best. You can see the number of impressions served, only 212, but it had a high click-through rate of almost 1% there. So you can see this is another variation of the creative that performed very well. So there's different variations. You might have a background that shows a player on the team, or you might have an audience, or like in the stands, or you may have different calls to action again. So you can see all of these, and it's interesting too because you can see the creative tool actually assembling these creatives as I hover over them and building the tagline and the calls to action. So all that rich media is loaded in here. Again, yeah, you can see this is a good example here where we can tag the creative variations. So one background may have fans in the crowd, or it might be a background of the park itself, or one of the players on the team. So you can see that creative variation trends by impressions daily. You can look at this all cumulatively and see what's happening across all of those different variations of those creatives to give you that view. Let's see if our baking is done here. Let's see how this turned out for us. It did. Okay, so probably might be pretty small for you, so I'll read a little bit of this. So we've got our 5-member panel. Looks like Alex didn't want to respond, so that's fine. But we've got Alex Takahashi saying that, yep, they're interested in attending sporting events like MLB and preferring events that promise lively atmosphere and a chance to engage with like-minded fans. So this may be fan related, right? Environment related more so than the individual players or the stats, right? But being part of a fan group and sharing that common interest. Looks like it extends beyond that. To be engaging for me, the campaign could highlight the social aspects, just like I was just saying, it's bearing out here that to be more engaging for me, the campaign could highlight the social aspects of professional networking opportunities at the games, as I value social status and networking. I also spend a considerable amount of time on internet purchases, suggesting digital platforms could offer a targeted opportunity. So again, this is a prompted tool that could help you think as marketers through what your best strategy is, not just simply, hey, are they more likely to attend opening day for their favorite baseball team? It goes beyond that to say, how can you find me? How can you engage with me? And what type of message do I resonate with that's going to get me to behave and really drive and want to join those fans at a Mariners game? So yeah, we can, there's more here that we can look into. So this Alexander Richardson likes Pac-12 sports. To make the campaign more appealing to someone like me, the advertiser could emphasize exclusive content or integrated eco-friendly initiatives within the sport to resonate with my interest in sustainability. So this is really a guide on how to market, what types of creatives, how to what types of different views, right? The social aspect versus the environmental sustainability aspect, tailoring those creatives to those audiences. And this is just one question. So you can ask a more targeted question specifically related to a campaign or specifically related to the types of offers that you might provide. So these focus groups, these personas, this is all layered into our attribution, bringing it to life as added value. There's no additional cost to have these conversations with the focus groups, or to see that lens of who's engaging, who's exposed to these campaigns, and where to find them. So this is all exportable as well. You can download the conversations, you can download these representations. So it's really a neat tool, and this is just the start. We're continuing to evolve this. So if we scroll down here further, we've gone into, okay, so this is related to the message optimization still. So again, those different variations of creatives. So we can see this chart shows each individual creative. So we've got our creative variations coded here. So some are based on fans, others may be, the primary part of the creative is the park, the player. We can see the overall lift in performance compared to a baseline. So this is fans. So this might resonate well with that first member of our panel that we spoke with just a moment ago. So a lift from 3.9 to 4.8. So you can see that the red here is this gets out of the way, is the random conversion rate, and the candlestick here is the AI conversion rate. So you can see that across all of your creatives. So as I scroll through here, you can see all of the different variations that we deployed in this campaign. So that gives you that view individually. And you can see as well that the bigger ones are where there was more volume. We saw that above in our chart here. Let me see here. Yep. So the larger circles are larger volume. Smaller are more impact with lower volume. So you can see that. And then if you'd like, you can also look at the performance of the incremental lift cumulatively across time. So this chart shows you those individual placements as they build toward cumulative incremental lift. So each successive creative shows you starting from the baseline of the one that before it. So you can scroll across time. So here, starting at baseline 0 and the incremental lift of 3 created by this variation. And we can scroll across time, or across creatives, that is, and we can see the cumulative impact. You can see that some where there's the gray instead of the blue, those are showing actually negative lift compared to the control group. But cumulatively across time, what we're seeing occur, and also the machine learning learns from those too. So it's important that some do have that negative lift so we can learn what works and what doesn't, and it gets smarter and smarter across time. So where we net out is, you can see it's getting better at that, and we net out at a net of about incremental 300 attributable conversions based on that creative variation. Media optimization we don't have here yet, but this would show you where you can find those overlapping audiences that show a high propensity to convert and where to reach them. So then we get into the frequency to lift response function, the flirt curve. So this is a marginal return curve. That's another way that we are looking at our measurement tool, not only as just a measuring stick, but how you can get value back, how you can drive return on ad spend, looking forward, going from the past to a forward-looking analysis. This analysis gives you the insights that you need to ensure that your dollars are well spent on the next ad or the next marginal cost per acquisition. So here, what we can see is the frequency compared to the performance. So here, remember, we had, I think it was about 2.2 million impressions and a frequency of 2. So here we can see that that performance at that frequency of 2 is right there and giving you that FLIRF curve at 5.1 and your cumulative lift at 6. So here, as we get farther on, if you have a frequency all the way over here of 25, let's say, that means you're hitting somebody over the head with an ad. They've either already converted or they're not going to convert. So oversaturation means that you're not going to get that return. It's the same amount of money that you're spending on each incremental ad, but it's not moving the needle much. So you're in this flat part of the curve. So you really want to stay in this sweet spot here. And this will show you where you are in that return curve. Then, so FLIRFs are the frequency to lift response function. If we layer in our spend, then we can also see the spend to impact response function, or a SURF curve. So you can enter in the CPMs for your media up front in your media plan, and we can load this in for you, and you can see the spend to impact response function, because you need to know that spend, because it's not only just your reach and frequency, but there may be some media or other channels that are costing more. So we want to make sure that that cost is taken into consideration, or that spend. So if you don't enter in the CPMs of the media up front, then you can play with this tool here to see the impact of that SURF curve. So if it's $1 CPM, then this is what we have here. Suppose that your media cost was $5 CPM. If we apply that, you can see our original SURF curve here compared to the $5 CPM SURF curve. So you can see that it's much flatter, because your marginal return, or your return on investment, is in a steeper part of it. So that shows you that adjusted impact. Also, with the frequency, we can show you at what part of the frequency curve is giving you your best conversion rates. So this helps to inform frequency capping. So here we can see that roughly 15% of the media impressions served were reached a over 21 frequency. And then here we can see that the sweet spot here is 82% of the impressions delivered a frequency within the range of 2 to 5. And that had your highest conversion rate per 1,000 of 1.8. So this shows you that. We can see that as well here in the FLIRF curve. So you can see, again, we're right in between this 2 to 5 frequency range is the steepest part of the curve. And then you can see, perhaps between 8 and 13 or so, it kind of flattens out, and then it becomes steep again. We can see that in this frequency capping overview, where, the 2 to 5 impression range is your highest conversion rate, and it levels off in only 0.8 here, and then back up to 1.7. So the read here is that we want to target a frequency capping of between 2 and 5, and look for ways to increase reach without oversaturated in frequency. And if you're working with ad servers who are able to equip frequency capping, then here's how you know what that frequency cap should be. And so all of these insights, again, we provide you with these, and you can make those optimization decisions yourself. And again, you can change the different goals that you're tracking. You can change and view a performance by an individual line item. You can do this, and the tools are here for you to see that. You might have some line items that show a higher response at different frequency levels. And you can show how saturated you are within a particular channel to say, hey, you know what, I may have oversaturated this channel or this audience. Then you can see that, download those reports and say, you know what, I want to move my spend over into this other area where we're showing low impressions but high conversion index. You can do that with these tools, or you can enable the AI to do it for you in real time. And that's what drives that uh, that return, that cumulative incremental return based on those AI strategies, all automated for you. So yeah, you can do it yourself, or you can work with us and we can turn on those AI optimizations automated. Here's some additional insights and different breakdowns. So you can see the conversion delay. So how many within an hour, here's within 1 week. So yeah, this look back window or attribution window, we see the number of events occurring and being attributed within that 1 week timeline. Then we can also show you a breakout for the attributable conversions here. So we've got the number that we were attributing versus not tracking. We can show you whether they were view through, so impression based, so the conversion was tied to an impression, or tied directly to a click through. So it might be somebody clicked directly. So I think we've got how many here? 113 click-based conversions. This is a display ad with these display creatives. If you had audio, for example, you might not have those click-through conversions, but it'll show you the path. Here's cross-platform. Again, with Claritas's identity and device graph, we're able to resolve more of that cross-device activity. So it's thinking about channels like audio or CTV, where you're not walking up to the TV to convert, you're converting on a different environment. We can help you resolve that cross-device activity. And we can give you a breakdown here with this Sankey chart to show you, in this case, the available conversions, the ones that were attributed, these are the same device matches. So the exposure and conversion occurred on the same device. And then the cross-device matches, out of those remaining, there were 850 cross-device matches. And then the non-matched, which could be foreign, they could be unmatchable based on the, if somebody is using VPN, just untrackable. That is all taken into consideration as well as we produce these results. You can see across the volume distribution across cable, cellular or corporate or other. This could be, if you're at Starbucks Wi-Fi, we can see where those impressions are landing. So if you're able to hit a targetable audience, we've done well here and with this impression volume in each of those, and that has resulted in that conversion rate. Day of week as well, so we can see what day of week most are engaging with. As I was thinking too, the weekends are always great. Somebody may be looking to catch a game on the weekend, on a Sunday, perhaps. The time of day, so when are they engaging? Performance by impressions, conversions, and the conversion rate. You can see that at different times of day. So those are all informative, especially our AI learns from that as well too, to say, okay, yep, this is the best time of day to reach someone, and where and how. By device, so where, on what type of devices, the impressions here we served most on the Windows 10 desktop. You can see iOS and Android, and the conversions mostly on those iOS devices here, conversion rate as well. All of it downloadable. Your DMA, so here, Seattle Mariners. So yep, we would expect the highest performance by DMA to be in Seattle. So this bears out. And then you've got your by line performance. So here's the individual lines. And if I wanted to, I could click this and it will take me into a view just tailored to just that. I can export this view and it gives you your impressions and your attributable conversions, your click-through rate at that line item level. Let's see here. I can click on one of these and we can show you how it will filter that out. So here we just have this filtered to just one line item level. So you can see the attributable conversions based on this one level, the number of impressions, the reach and frequency. So yeah, we're right in that sweet spot of that frequency range of 2.6. So that's great. We can see that reach and frequency across all of those placements as well. And based on that FLIRF curve and SURF curve, are we in the sweet spot of that frequency range? Are we oversaturated? What do we need to swap out there? This is the different views based on just this placement. You can see the FLIRF curve here again. So yeah, we've got, and this is a good example as well too. So we can see here that the FLIRF curve, the line of saturation is here. So we don't want to exceed 5. And because just increasing the frequency to 10 or so, you have a steep drop off in performance. So you want to stay right in that sweet spot. So each incremental dollar you spend should be giving you that higher incremental return on investment. Conversion delays based on these placements. So yeah, this is getting very granular on what's happening with this actual placement. Same types of views, just broken down. So you get some really, you can go really deep in this. Again, it's all exportable. You can grab screenshots of this to tailor any kind of executive views that you might like. Here's an example of this creative and the different variations in this line item. You can even get into per line item where it gets down into the background colors, images, calls to action. So you can see how this all builds. User time, feature importance. So this is breaking down that creative view of what's working and what's not. Okay, and the only thing that we haven't explored yet, I'll go back to our main view. Let's go to this. And the only other section is exploring our audience segments. So let me get back to this. And let's explore these segments. And also generating an AI summary. So this is interesting too. So the AI segments, so yeah, we had those conversations. You can see the performance by those segments. So here, this is interesting. So here we see the Prism categories, the names of them: network neighbors, executive suites, winners circle, young digerati, and these are sorted by the conversion index. So we see the total impressions that were served to each of these audiences, and if you over-indexed in reaching those audiences, and here's the impression index. So yeah, we over-indexed on reaching those audiences. So we did a good job of reaching that high converting audience. And then we can also sort it by the conversion to impression index. So here, this is interesting because it's showing you that you served very few impressions or under-indexed in serving impressions to this country casuals segment. However, they over-indexed in converting. So the comparison of those conversions to impressions means that you've got an opportunity to deliver more ads to that audience for higher performance, because they're popping here showing you that they've got a high propensity to convert, but they haven't been served many impressions. So that helps you with staying in that sweet spot of the marginal return curve, not oversaturating or blowing out the frequency, but reaching those audiences that you have not yet reached, shown by the low impression volume. So it's an opportunity. And that's another way that you can use this tool to say, all right, I've got this opportunity with this audience. I just haven't targeted them yet. I need to go reach them. Get into your DSP and pull the country casual segment off the shelf and deliver those ads to that segment. Find what type of, you can even use the audience tool above and you can have a conversation with the country casual segment related to the MLB, what types of ads and where to reach them, what types of creative variations you might explore. It will give you that. You can ask those questions. So you know that you want to target that audience. Now, what type of message do you want to deliver them that's going to have the largest impact? So this is one of the ways that you can use this tool. It's all there for you. And this will be a lot snappier too when we have it out of beta. But yeah, I think that I've covered everything. Heather, anything missing? And I think we can open it up to questions.
Yeah, so we have one question here that I didn't answer directly in the chat. Am I correct in assuming that current multi-touch tracking analysis is digital channels only, and that email, direct mail, and out-of-home or geofencing are not included?
So we can, and so with multi-touch attribution, if we're including, it's not in our standard capability yet to include email, out of home, and so forth, but that's something that we can include if we were to do a custom analysis. So yeah, the multi-touch attribution right now is based on our digital channels. I'll mention with multi-touch attribution as well that it's not just a simple ascription of attribution to multiple points on a consumer's journey. It's a reasoned, analytical, weighted approach to which ads should get the most weight. So just for an example, let's say that if some multi-touch attribution models might just do a straight line decay based on what was the most recent ad, and let's weight moving backwards in time. But what if that most recent ad was a paid search ad? Let's say it's a Google paid search ad. And then the one that occurred right before that was a podcast ad. So really, we know that if someone is exposed to a podcast ad and then they click into a Google paid search ad into the advertiser's website, that Google paid search ad really isn't doing much other than a means for that user to get to the website. So you wouldn't want to apply most of that weighting to that paid search ad, knowing that there is a higher value ad that immediately preceded it. So we understand that variable weighting, and it's a reasoned approach that's true attribution versus just ascription. We're also, I'll mention too, if you've attended any of the other webinars, or if you work with your Claritas account representative, we have some white papers on attribution, how to do it wrong, how to do it right. We will be releasing a deep dive into all of our methodology. I think it's approaching 60 pages now. So we're still adding to that and ensuring that you have a real rich understanding of that and how we're doing our ground truthing and so forth. So we'll share all of that with you. We'll share how we do things like measuring broadcast radio and adding that to the mix so you can get a digital view of let's say, like we like to say, comparing podcast to broadcast in one view. And the methodology behind that will include how we're doing our weighting, the calculations for those. And you'll find that we're very transparent, and we'll walk you through everything that we're doing, from Lift to our AI capabilities and our ground truthing. So we'll have those. And yeah, pause there for any additional questions.
Yep. So we have one come through. Is there a way we can see the conversions for users exposed to an audio ad and filter to when they directly converted? I can answer that. Yes, we have that capability in our respondent data report option. That's available now and will be available in the new platform as well. We do have that where you can look at the exact moment in time stamped when that conversion happened, and also the exact moment in time where that exposure occurred that led to that conversion. So we do have that capability now. And then we have another question. This one will be for you, Aaron. Will additional Claritas segmentations like Asianicity and Hispanicity be coming to Claritas Insights 2.0?
Yeah, so that's related to culture code. So great question. We can see that we've got these 3 segmentation systems in here, but we'll load more. There are some things that we're exploring, such as custom audience generation as well. But yes, those are on our roadmap. Here you can see as I click through here too, we were looking at Prism. This is cycle. So, different lens on tech adoption here, different names for those segments too. But yeah, hispanicity and asianicity would be different views of performance, acculturation really. Connections is, oh, I said it wrong. Cycle is the finance industry. Connections is tech adoption. So yeah, we've got these three already built in here. We can build more in as we improve and add more features and value.
Okay, are there any other questions? I don't really see any more coming through in the chats or Q&As. Okay, I'm going to drop the link to schedule a demo in the chat for everyone. All you have to do is click there and fill out your information to schedule the demo. Or if you want to get followed up with by your account team, there's an option after you fill the survey that will be launching to you right after this webinar closes. And in the meantime, if you want to learn more, you're ready to adopt this, get signed up for beta access, and do a deep dive with Erin or I, reach out to your Claritas account team, or they'll be reaching out to you as a follow-up as well. And so with that, I don't see any other questions, so I think we can wrap up. Oh, I see one more. Sorry, someone came through. Would this solution include tracking conversions to a third-party application that we use for conversions rather than our proprietary website? Yes, it depends. It depends on where we're tracking the conversions, but if our pixels can be placed in it or if we can connect via API, we can do that solution. And okay, I think that's all. So thanks everyone for joining, and we will talk to you soon.
Thank you so much.
Bye.